I like to show people and like that you can play in different ways and it still be kind of valid. And I think because I like to think that I'm quite good, that when I play, like I play well as well. I'm not just playing nonsense. I'm trying to kind of play different types of music, and that's what we do in the Chili Pipers as well. As we play pop music and rock music on the bagpipes, but we try to do it in a way that's good, and we're trying to kind of show that you can do it.
But it's so great to meet you here on Zoom.
No, yeah, thanks for having me. Nice to meet you too.
So tell me, where are you based?
I'm in Glasgow, Scotland.
But tell me now, when did you start playing the pipes?
I started to play the pipes when I was 7, so that's 21 years ago now. And I began to learn in a small bagpipe shop in Inverness, actually. My family moved up to Inverness when I was around 5 or 6, and we lived up there for a couple of years. So I wasn't allowed to start playing. I was badgering my parents to let me learn the pipes, but I wasn't allowed to start playing until I was 7. That was the rule. I think they'd asked people, like, you know, if they could give me lessons, and they said not until he's 7. So I was like, I think it was a size thing. I think it was a size thing with your fingers and things, and maybe a concentration thing. But I still think 7's quite young. But I think, like, these days anyway, like, I wouldn't really start people until they're maybe a bit older. But I think I was so keen that they were just like, oh, we'll just give it a try and see, and maybe he'll get over it, I think, was maybe the thinking. I used.
Yeah, it's a very traditional instrument in Scotland.
Yeah.
Is it? What exactly was it that attracted you to the instrument?
Yeah, I think it is the official instrument of Scotland, I think. And I think that I saw it I saw a pipe band playing, or I saw numerous pipe bands playing at like a local gala day or like festival celebration in Linlithgow, where we lived before and where we moved back to after Inverness. So we went Linlithgow, Inverness, Linlithgow. And Linlithgow is near Edinburgh, the Central Belt. It's a commuter town for Edinburgh and Glasgow, but it's closer to Edinburgh. And they have gala day, and then there was the tattoo in Edinburgh as well. I used to go to the tattoo each year until I got a bit older. But I had a castle and stuff, a toy castle that I used to make pipe bands march in front of when I was young. I remember doing that. So I don't know. I think it was just a bit strange.
It also comes with the whole, the band and the uniform and everything. So it's very much that staging of it. So do you think that's also something that that you liked or that you enjoyed watching?
Yeah. I guess I was just attracted to the whole kind of thing. Like, I want to do that. Yeah. I want to march in the band wearing those clothes. Like I remember having, I think it was maybe the Millennium. They had like a cutout in the newspaper which had like the hats that you would wear. It's called a Glengarry, and they had like a cardboard. You could cut out the Glengarry and wear the Glengarry for the Millennium. I remember having one of them, and then my. Across the road neighbour, an older guy, had been in the army, and he had like a proper one, and he gave me that to wear when I was young. There's photos of all this, which my parents take great pleasure in digging out every so often.
Oh, is it? Yeah. But that's so sweet, and it's part of the whole sort of thing about it, isn't it? That it's. And that it's so part of Scotland. I mean, we associate it absolutely with Scotland.
Yeah, no, so for sure.
When you started taking lessons now, was it easy to find a teacher?
I think at that time, because we were in the Highlands and we were in Inverness, which is like the kind of central point of the Highlands, I think it was okay. Like that was, I don't think the only teacher, but certainly the kind of like, there was a shop, I remember it was a shop in like a kind of market in the middle of Inverness, and the shop was still open, but I would go from say like 4 till 5 on a Tuesday. I don't know what day it was, and like people would come into the shop to buy things as I was doing the lesson, like in the middle of the shop. It was a tiny little shop.
Okay,
it's the shop still exists actually, and the guy who taught me originally still works in the shop, so I've seen him a few times since. But yeah, I think that up there, but certainly then down here, it wasn't in the central belt of Scotland. It wasn't nearly as popular as it is now. There's great kind of schemes on the go now in schools, kind of big initiatives. There's a trust called the Scottish Schools Pipe Band Trust that their mission, I think their overall goal is to have a pipe band in every school in Scotland.
Wonderful.
But I think it's maybe kind of changed to every local authority or kind of, every cluster of schools. But they're putting lots of money into particularly kind of more like less likely areas, I guess, which is great for people like me who have graduated and looking for teaching jobs as well. And there seems to be more and more of them coming around, which is great. I think certainly when I was growing up, it was either your local band that you learned with, or there was like a good player in the area who was teaching. But certainly it was just coming into schools when I was kind of going through school. So like there was a piping tutor in the council that I went to school in, but I wasn't, like, it wasn't my school that got it. So I got brass lessons, or you could get string lessons, but there wasn't piping. But certainly there's piping now, but still not in the school that I went to. But in the area, certainly. And I got, like, they called it exam support. So as I got older, I got lessons from that teacher because I was doing exams in the pipes as well.
Oh, I see. Okay, so it's getting more popular now.
I would say so. I think it's the most popular it's ever been the world over. The access to Zoom lessons like this, or like the access, as I say, to, I guess it's, the world is more connected. You can fly around the world and play the bagpipes a bit more easily than you could even 20 years ago. So I think it's more accessible to people. I think, the market is wider for people who play, people who teach, people who sell products related to bagpipes. I think it's larger than it's ever been. As I say, there's more people learning in school. I'm not so sure the conversion rate is so great in terms of the amount of people who start playing and kind of get any good. But it's still very much like this in terms of competition, in terms of things. But I think the sheer volume of people who play the bagpipes must be the biggest it's ever been.
Well, it's actually also great that children have this interest, even like you say, even if they don't follow through or they don't, become professional musicians. But I always believe even if they do play it for a few years, it makes them appreciate the music so much more, so because they understand what it's about. And so, maybe that's not a bad thing.
No, for sure. I think anyone who plays it, and I think it's the same with any instrument that you learn. It's just not as close to bagpipes, but if there's the whole discipline thing, there's the whole kind of concentration thing, learning a new skill like reading music, things that you might not realize that you would use, but you might even appreciate, like pop music more. You can understand it a wee bit more because you've got a bit of a deeper understanding than someone who, say, hasn't learned an instrument to any level as well.
But now you said you played brass instruments as well, and then the pipes as well. What is the main difference there, would you say?
I guess, I learned pipes outside of school, and I learned brass, as I say, in school. And they do this thing called the aptitude test, which I don't know if I like it or not, but it's like, are you going to be good at an instrument when you're like 10? So we certainly the way it worked for us was we had to do a test, and basically it was like the teacher would clap something and everyone would clap it back, and they would sing a note, and it was like, is it higher or lower, and things. But it's they selected they selected this group of people to play brass, and I got selected because I already played an instrument for 3 years by this point. So like, I kind of had musical skills, and it was something I wanted to do. So I learned to play the trombone, and I guess you're asking about how different they are. And
well, first of all, the trombone doesn't have any kind of like solid things. So like it's like a trumpet has like you do this shape and it makes this noise. You do this shape, it makes this. And like the bagpipes have, if you do this shape, it makes this noise. If you do this shape, it makes this noise. Whereas the trombone, it was like if you go this far, it makes.
Yeah, of course.
So there's a slight difference
so it was
there.
Different.
Yeah, it's completely different. You like use a different kind of embouchure, and also like the music is I would read bass clef for trombone, and I would read treble clef for pipes. But I think that helped overall in terms of my understanding of music, but also it just helped keep them separate because it's two completely different skills. It's not, there's no confusion. It's not like trying to play the accordion and the piano, or I don't know, the violin and the cello. Like at that age particularly. So it was fine. So yeah, I was a bit older and I could kind of separate them a bit as well.
So did you always knew that you wanted to do it professionally?
I think so. I can't really remember when. I think certainly as I became a teenager, I was like, this is going to, like, I don't want to do anything else. I couldn't think of anything worse than flipping burgers and McDonald's or anything. Not that that's not viable, but for me, I was like, I want to play the bagpipes, and it was specifically the bagpipes. Like I didn't want to be a trombonist, or I didn't want to be like a singer or anything. I wanted to play the bagpipes as my job, and I picked my subjects in school based on that. I knew what subjects I required to get into. I wanted to go to the Conservatoire in Glasgow to play. I was like, I'm going to go and do that. So I had to get 3 hires, I think, for that. So I picked ones I knew I was going to pass and things like that. And music, it allowed me to focus on just playing as much pipes and as much music as I could whilst I was growing up, which is really good because a lot of my friends at the time, and I guess still, didn't really know what they wanted to do with their life or how they wanted to do it. And I was just like, well, I just want to play the bagpipes. And it's still the case. I just want to play there's lots of things that go with being a professional artist, as or like a kind of musician or whatever, and it's like all the kind of admin and invoices and business stuff. It's like I just want to play the pipes. Like
But did you play in a band also, or in an orchestra?
Yeah, so I played in a pipe band. I still play in a pipe band. Whilst I was growing up, I played in the Boghall and Bathgate pipe band, which was the local band to my parents in Linlithgow. They've just won the World Championships actually.
Wow! Amazing.
In August, but I left about 8 years ago or something, maybe seven or 8 years ago. But they've got a junior system, so they've got like. They kind of, it's like a teaching thing, so it can build experience. So there's like a novice level, and then there's a juvenile level, and then you can go into the premier band, which is the band I'm talking about. So I worked my way through that at the same time, and I also played in the National Youth Pipe Band of Scotland as well, it's like a kind of like National Youth Orchestra thing. It's like all the best pipers, if you like, under the age of 25 would play in this band, and you'd represent your own competing band, but this was just for concerts and just for kind of promoting bagpipes. So I did that as well for many years, and then, as I say, when I moved to Glasgow to study at the Conservatoire, I played for a couple of years in Boghall, and I was travelling back and forward, but I ended up moving to a band that was based in Glasgow, and it was the Inveraray District Band, and we were very fortunate to have a very successful time since then. We've won everything you can win multiple times.
Amazing.
So from a competitive piping point of view, and competitive pipe bands, that's kind of that's what I learned my trade, if you like.
So you think it's important for somebody who plays the bagpipes to be in an orchestra?
I don't think it's crucial. I think it gives you, but I do think it gives you like skills that you can use in other ways, and also it just gives you like, it gives you the kind of discipline. And like for me, the reason I still play in the band, because you don't get paid or anything like that to play in a pipe band. It's like a hobby. It's like an amateur football team. You pay to be. you pay to be in it. You pay to go. You give up your time to go, and we practice a lot to get to the level required to win these competitions. So, yeah, I would say that I don't know. I would say that it's really important to play in a pipe band, because that's as I say, I play in it because it allows me to keep my level up. Like I pride myself on being very good, even if I'm playing just myself for like the welcome of an event at some hotel in Glasgow.
Oh yeah.
As like a kind of just a Friday night welcome piping job in the freezing cold. Like I still try to make sure that I'm playing the best I can. And I think playing in a pipe band gives you that mindset of like, I've got to be good every time I play, or I'll not get to play in a competition, or I will not win the competition, that kind of thing. Which I guess is, I don't know if that's positive or negative, but
no, but it's but are you very competitive yourself?
Yeah, I think so. I think it makes you competitive playing in a pipe band. It's like a sports team. Like it's not really musical. You pick the music based on, it's an adjudicator based thing. You pick the music based on what the adjudicators are going to like, what the other bands are playing, and you try and pick things that are going to make you stand out from the crowd. And it's the same, you do solo piping competitions as well. It's the same for that. There's like a kind of league system for that. So you've got to try and gain the edge. You practice more than the other person, or you buy the best instrument. So you've got the fastest car kind of thing, or whatever. It's all this kind of thing. But yeah, I would say that like I'm very competitive. I take it very seriously, and I pride myself on trying to be as good as I can be all the time. Even, as I say, even if I'm not playing in a competitive environment.
But now, and you say now you don't get paid for playing in an orchestra, but now as a bagpiper, how do you make your living? I mean, you do smaller gigs, or how do you do it?
Yeah, well, currently I'm a full-time member of the Red Hot Chilli Pipers. So I tour the world playing bagpipes, and so I get paid to do that. And aside from that, I've got a ceilidh band, which we play for dancing at weddings and events. And also, as I say, I like do personal piping gigs where I pipe outside somebody's wedding or an event at a hotel or kind of a corporate function, or also teaching as well. You can do workshops with lots of people, or just kind of individual teaching. And I do all my teaching at the moment on Zoom as well, which is why I'm used to maybe stuff going wrong and having to grab a different laptop.
I understand that. Yeah, but also nice that it's becoming more popular, so that there are more people being interested in learning to play the pipes.
When I first started, when I first became a professional, if you like, when I graduated or whatever, I did lots of teaching. That was my main kind of income. I went around to schools. I had 3 or 4 different kind of school jobs across the week, and I did lots of private. I had like 20 or 25 private students like in the evenings, which was quite a lot. And then I would do kind of weddings at the weekend and things. And then over time, because as I keep saying, like I want to play the pipes, especially whilst I'm young, and I guess I don't have like official responsibility. I don't have any children or anything, so I want to play. So I've kind of swapped that ratio over. Now I've got 5 private students, and I just play other than that. Just whatever will have me.
Well, I see on Instagram, and it's great because, I mean, this is how I found you, is that, you do a lot on your Instagram page to sort of introduce people to the bagpipes and the music and so on. So do you do that specifically, sort of to promote the bagpipes?
I guess that's got to be part of it, but it's more, I guess, more selfishly, it's to kind of promote myself in terms of like, this is what I do, this is who I am, this is kind of like, I feel like, I've kind of developed this kind of, I guess, the kind of showmanship of it all. It's like, I think people have got this image, and you kind of spoke about it at the start. It's like bagpipes have got like, you must be wearing a kilt, and you must be smart, and you must be straight up and down, the kind of feasible. that's the kind of competitive thing I'm talking about. That's a thing, and I do that. But I think I like to show people and like that you can play in different ways and it still be kind of valid. And I think because I like to think that I'm quite good, that when I play, like I play well as well. I'm not just playing nonsense. I'm trying to kind of play different types of music, and that's what we do in the Chili Pipers as well. As we play pop music and rock music on the bagpipes, but we try to do it in a way that's good, and we're trying to kind of show that you can do it, because there's plenty of terrible versions of bagpipes playing rock tunes, and I've probably been part of that myself, kind of growing up. But it's like playing with other people, and like I think if you play it well, it kind of elevates it again, and hopefully it's inspiring to a young person or an older person who wants to play the bagpipes. They can be like, oh, I can do that, but I can also do that. And I think that's important, and that's why I don't know if you got that far back, but I've been doing Christmas, like silly Christmas videos for the last few years, on my like kind of social channels, where like I'm playing Christmas tunes on the bagpipes, which is a thing, but like, you know, it's that thing of when you play a song, like you know what the song sounds like, but there's no words and you can't stop on the bagpipe. So if it's like deck the halls with boughs of holly, so that's how you'd sing that. But if you play it, it's like da 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 da, it sounds completely different. Arguably, and it's on this instrument that only has the bagpipes have only got a certain number of notes. They're always the loudest thing in the room. There's all these kind of issues, and it's about trying to kind of get around these issues and play something entertaining and recognizable for people as well. So I've been doing that for maybe the last 3 years since COVID, I guess. I spent a bit of time. I spent the whole month of December locked in this room at this computer trying to make make silly videos.
I love
it. I'm dressed up as Santa, running around my house, like playing the bagpipes and things. And
I love that. It's great that, and also I mean, I've been looking for bagpipers to interview as well, and I've been coming across many pages, and I was actually surprised because I didn't really realize that you do certain genres with the bagpipes, that you do play different genres and the pop music, and it makes the bagpipe sound so much different, or it makes this association with the bagpipe so much different, and I love that.
Yeah, no, I think there's, I think, as I'm saying about more and more people playing, and I think that is, well, of course I'm going to say that because I play in the band, but I think it's down to bands like the Chili Pipers I play in. That's been going for like 20 years. I've just joined the last year or something. I'm not taking any credit for the idea or anything, but like every time I go on stage with that, you see young people in the audience like, wow, I want to do that. And like, I use it in the first, like when I was teaching in school and things, it would be the first lesson. I would get the kids to all play We Will Rock You, just because it's easy. It's only like 4 notes. And you can teach them in the first lesson, which means they can go home and they can play it to whoever's at home, and they can be like, look, I can play a tune on the bagpipes first week. And they're like, I want to learn how to play another tune on the bagpipes. And then they come back and it's like inspiring them, instead of being like, right, well, today we're going to learn how to play all of the notes in that kind of old school way of, unless you're really keen and into it, like I was, like you're seeking it out and you want to play. Like, I think if you're going into a room and saying, right, we're all going to play the bagpipes, you can't be like that. You can't be like, really harsh and really kind of traditional about it. You've got to try and find different ways of engaging everybody with it. And you know that they're not all going to play, but at least they're going to try, and they're going to be maybe a bit excited about it, rather than, as I say, taking that kind of harsh approach, which yes, it'll make them better. Yes, it'll get them good. And you can do that once you get the ones who want to do it. But I think from an initial point of view, and getting people in the door into the music as well. And, I post these silly videos with a view to people finding my actual music that I spent time and money on. And being like that, there's Ross did that silly bagpipe video, but there's him playing pipes with a kind of like in a folk band, and that sounds really good. Oh, I like that. I'll listen to his album on Spotify. That kind of, I might book him to play at my event or my festival, and then it kind of goes that way, rather than being like, here I am and I'm standing playing the bagpipes on a hill like, you know, and I know people will like that, and I get that people, you know, especially overseas people will like that because it's that idyllic idea of Scotland. But it's like, this is Scotland, but like with a twist, perhaps.
Yeah, and I like that you do that, because sometimes I think, and it comes when children want to play an instrument, immediately there's formality around the instrument, and if you can break that and you can just get them to start enjoying, then you can, like you say, the ones that will go on and play more professionally. But there are some children that just wants to play and want to enjoy it and not want to take it so seriously. And we have to accommodate them as well. It shouldn't just be either you do it professionally or you don't do it at all.
No, 100%. I think as musicians and as, I guess, I think it's when you play at a kind of high level, you kind of expect everybody, maybe like a kind of naive approach is, you expect everybody to want to be as good as you, or like it as much as you. And I think that was a very quick learning process for me when I've taught for quite a while now, actually, but like when I first started teaching, it was always people who like had sought me out for lessons, or they played in the band and they wanted a bit of extra help from somebody who was a bit better than them. So I would teach them, and that's how I kind of learned to teach. So everybody who I'd had as a student always wanted to play and wanted to get better. So you could go for like, we do it like this, you have to practice that or you're not going to get better and you're not going to reach that level. Let's play in this competition, let's play in this band. Like that was always what I did. And then when I got thrust into this school position, I thought it was going to be like that. I thought it was going to be like everyone wants to play, and then it was like, here's the whole class, they're all going to play the bagpipes. Or like, you know, here's 10 people at once, they're all going to play. And you're like, immediately you're like, well, here we go. And I like taught them the same way, and I was like, they could just see them being like, what, who's this guy? So I had to change my style and change my kind of approach to it, and decide that it didn't matter. I just wanted as many people as possible to have experience playing the bagpipes and not push for this level. And afterwards you can start to push for the level. But I think just, the level, like, you know, you have to drop your bar a bit. You know, It was like, it started off as like, you have to know 10 tunes to be able to play the bagpipes. So when we were playing I should say, when you learn the bagpipes, you start on an instrument called the practice chanter, which is like a small, quiet instrument. And then once you've learned a certain number of movements and tunes and kind of melodies, you move on to the full instrument. And the finger patterns are the same, but you add the rest of the instrument. So, I had lots of people playing the chanter, and I used to be like, right, you have to learn 10 tunes to get onto the bagpipes, and then it became 9, and then it became 8, and then it became 7. You know, and I was like, I was getting pressure from above as well, because they'd bought all these bagpipes, and they're like, we want a pipe band. Why is there not people playing bagpipes? And I'm like, well, it takes them, you know, getting 20 minutes a week or half an hour a week, and they're not practicing, and it takes, you know, it could take 2 years to get people on bagpipes. Like, no, it has to be quicker. It has to be quicker. So I had to drop my standards like quite drastically in order to get people on bagpipes. And then once you've got them, you can then kind of work on them. But it's like, you know, it was trying to get them to that. So you could just have like a bunch of people in public playing the bagpipes. Like, they don't care what it sounds like. It comes back to, as you say, it's what they look like, or the kind of overall perception. It's like, here's a bunch of people from this area or this school or whatever playing the bagpipes together. Like, we've ticked a box, we've done a thing. Fabulous. Which is great. I think that's good, but also, you know, it maybe that's what I'm saying about lots of people have the ability to play, but maybe not to a very high level, because that's happening all over the country.
Yeah, and maybe that's why some people don't like the bagpipes, because of the, you know, that it's not played correctly, so that you're not used to. You know, if you don't have that standard, then the bagpipes, the music wouldn't come to you in the way that it's supposed to.
Yeah, well, for sure. And it's the same as anything. If you hear someone play the violin badly, you go, I don't like the violin sounds terrible.
Exactly.
Yeah, if you hear somebody really good play the violin, you're like, the violin's amazing. And it's the same. And especially instruments like that. Like, if you play a piano, you play the note and it sounds like the note on the piano. If you play the drums, you hit the drum and it sounds like a drum. I don't know, to be good at these instruments, you've obviously got to be able to play them really well. I get that. But an instrument like the violin or the the bagpipes where you produce the note as well. Like, it doesn't matter how good your instrument is. It doesn't matter if you've got a Ferrari if you can't drive.
Yeah. Exactly.
So yeah, there's a bit of that about the bagpipes. You wouldn't believe how often people say, if you're playing at a wedding or something, they go, "Oh, you're good. You can play," and it's like, well, like, I thought that's what you would expect.
Yeah,
You've paid me to be here to play the bagpipes. Like, I don't like that you're surprised that I can play the bagpipes, but I think it's because people, people, as you say, even in Scotland, you hear terrible bagpipers, and around the world you hear that as well, particularly because people have not got the knowledge. They've just bought a set of bagpipes on the internet and been like, I'll be able to play that.
Yeah.
And watch a YouTube video on how to play it.
Yeah, and then it's also with the whole uniform, it's that idea that makes you a bagpiper.
Yeah, 100%.
But now, Ross, tell me what are the wishes for you? What would you like to do still?
Well, I would I like to continue to play the pipes. I just want as many people as possible to hear me play the bagpipes, or kind of be introduced. Certainly, I would like to inspire people to play the bagpipes as well, and I'd like to play, I don't know, some big gigs. I don't quite know what, but I would quite like to play some kind of like stadiums and things like that. I've done like the rugby stadium here and things, but it's as a part of a pipe band. I'd like to play like either as part of like a band that I'm in, like a kind of smaller band like Chili Pipers, or my own thing. I'd like to do something like that where it's like, I guess people coming to see my band as opposed to just like being at an event that people like being thrust upon people.
Oh yeah.
There's really something nice about people come to see, like, we do lots of concerts, as I say, all over the world, and people come to see our band, which is amazing. Like, which is different to me than like, playing at an event where it's like you are there to play at the event and someone is at the event, they're getting bagpipes thrown at them. So I think just more of that as much as I can. As I say, I'm bringing out some new music. I don't think I did say that, but the Christmas things, I'm bringing out a Christmas single on Spotify and things, and hopefully some people listen to that. And as I say, because it's on Spotify and stuff, like right below that will be like my kind of music that I've got, a kind of like the traditional stuff that I've just kind of produced. And then next year, I've just this week actually finished recording 2 new tracks as well for that, just to try and kind of build a bit of promotion again of my own thing, of like my own kind of artistry. It's just like some tunes that I've written and things, and put it together with a band and things.
So you compose yourself?
Yeah, I compose tunes for the bagpipes. I guess it's in a traditional style, so it's like within the kind of parameters that were set. But yeah, I've written a few like different kind of melodies and stuff. And yeah, as I said, I've got an album that came out in 2020 with a band on it and stuff, and then using some of the musicians did that, and some different musicians that I've met along the way. I'm releasing some new music as well, and hopefully it's a kind of modern take on the traditional bagpipes. And as I say, a bit of the gateway to that will be the kind of Christmas thing, and a bit of the kind of playing stuff that people recognise on my social channels and things, trying to get people in the door.
So the music, the recordings that you did, they are all available on Spotify?
Yeah, Spotify and Bandcamp and Apple Music, or wherever you get your music. There's so I did an album in 2020, I did a single in 2021, and I've got Christmas thing coming out this year, and I've got some new singles coming out in the new year. I think probably February and March time I'll release. There's 2 with videos and stuff, just to again just kind of move the thing forward just a bit, just the overall perception, I guess.
Oh yeah, but are there instruments that you specifically enjoy playing? Other instruments that you specifically enjoy playing with the bagpipes?
Yeah, I think like there's quite in Glasgow certainly, or in Scotland, there's like a kind of session culture where you'd play everyone would get together and it's normally a pub, but you get together in a pub and you would play, like everyone would know the same tune and you'd all play together. So that would be with like normally fiddles or violins, fiddles. And then I would play pipes, and then there's guitars, piano, kind of drums, normally like Baran kind of drums instead of like the drum kit. And then outside of that, if you're playing the band that I've built is drum kit, electric bass, kind of keys, fiddle, and me playing pipes. So it's like a band, but that you need to be plugged in for that because it's quite loud. Whereas the session thing, it's a bit more kind of like social music in the corner of a pub where you get bagpipes, different types of bagpipes that are kind of less abrasive. So they're more kind of feasible for playing with other people. But I often just play the big instrument anyway because that's what you play. That's my instrument. Sorry that I'm a bit louder.
Okay. But thank you so much, Ross. This was so wonderful talking to you and so insightful, really.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, I absolutely love your approach to teaching because I really believe that the more we can get children to enjoy instruments and, the more we will have audiences who appreciate music.
Yeah, no, I think so. I think that too, and I think it goes for anybody. I don't think it's just children, but yeah, I think if you start them young, it means that there's going to be people to play. But there's lots of people who are kind of older who want to play as well. The bagpipes, particularly, it seems that it's a music like an instrument for all, which is really exciting for someone who plays, and it's great to see the instrument doing that. It feels like really positive in a world where there's lots of negativity.
Exactly. No, but I specifically like the way you do it also on your social media because even for me, I am used to, because I lived in England also, so you're used to hearing bagpipes in this formal sort of setting, and you've just, changed it and for me, and just hearing how you can do it, and in a lighter way. So I really enjoy your page, your Instagram page.
No, thank you. Cheers. Well, hopefully I'll have more for you to watch as we go as well.
I'll see over Christmas time what you get up to.
Yeah, no, for sure. That's great. Well, thanks so much for having me. Cheers.
It's a great pleasure. And whenever you come to Vienna, please let me know. Maybe you come do a concert here.
Yeah. I've played in Vienna before.
Really?
A few years ago. Yeah. I've got a friend who plays the bagpipes actually, who's from Vienna as well, or from near Vienna anyway. He moved to Scotland about 10 years ago, and in fact it'll be more than 10 years ago now. And he's really embraced he came and played with the pipe band, and then he really embraced the kind of culture. He moved to the Western Isles and learned the Gaelic language and things. And I still see him now. It's fun.
Okay, Ross, have
That's
a lovely
great. Well,
afternoon.
thanks so much.
Okay, thanks. Bye.
Cheers. Thank you. You too. See you later. Right. Bye-bye.
Bye.